class. This is a little introduction into some more nested loops. Today we're basically going to make a multiplication table. The end result will look very similar to kind of what you see in grade school. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. You'll see that listed there. And we're going to use nested loops for this. So let's start at the top here. I've got a bit of code here commented out. Now just go through each one. Now, you can call it whatever you want. I called mine multiplication tables. So just make a new project. And inside the main, we're going to go ahead and write a little bit of code. Now, the range is going to be 9. So basically, the max value in my chart will be a 9 times 9. That way, it can basically, if I want to change the range to 5, I'll see 5 by 5. All the way from 1 times 1 to 5 times 5 will be the end result. So that's what this line is for. We're going to go ahead and system.print. This is going to basically, if you notice the /t, or I'm sorry, \t, this basically tabs over 5. And this is going to get our heading situated. So to show you what this looks like, I'm going to uncomment the for loop here. And just leave this one little bit of code here. So we have a for loop that starts at 1, because anything times 0 is 0, so we're just going to ignore that one. And it's going to go until the range, so 9 in this case. And all this is going to do is print the number at the top. So if we take a look at what this does, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the tab gives us 5 spaces, roughly in between here. Gives us a little bit of area so we can put our numbers, and they're not all smashed up against each other. So this is basically just filling out the top. What we're going to do next is fill out the side and the middle portion. So we're going to do this one line at a time. So this would be line 1. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3, all the way to 9. The next line would be 2. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's basically going to print the number and then do the math going across. And then we'll basically press enter and do the next line. So we're going to use nested loops for this. We have this one loop that does the top, but we're going to have another loop here that handles going down and across. So I'll uncomment this out and then explain what's going on here. There we go. So we go from 1 to the range. Again, 1 to 9 in this case. Unless I change the range, then it would be 1 to whatever I change it to, 50. But then we start getting into formatting issues. We'd have to change a couple of other things. So this, notice, this first item, prints just a number. And system.print will keep it on the same line. Basically, what you saw before, print keeps it here and just keeps going across. I use this print line right here to move my cursor down here. If I were to just, for example, just take that out for a second. There you go. Take this one line out. Watch what happens. That print line is gone now. See my output. The build successful is here on the same line as this because basically the print cursor is still here. Pressing, doing the system.out.print line basically moves that cursor down one, so the next output's going to appear below that. And that's effectively what that's doing. So print goes on one line, print line basically presses enter at the end. So this is going to print, you see it's a print, the first number that goes down here. I need to dock that if I can. Let's see here. There we go. It's going to print, and the next item is going to be the multiplication. 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3, or 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, and so on. And that's going to go across. Once it finishes going across, this will move us down 1. And then we're going to come back up here and we're going to do the next line, which will be 2. It'll go across. That's what this line is for, going across. And then we press enter and we go to the next line. So if we see this in its entirety, notice we've got the headings at the top. We print I, which is what this line's doing. This line right here prints these numbers on the side. It'll print the first one, and then we go into this for loop here that gives us 5 spaces, and then does a little multiplication. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3. We move to the next line, which means this is now 2. This I is 2. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, and so on. And then we're just going to keep doing this until we reach 9. So this goes from 1 to 9. This inner loop goes 1 to 9. So this is the loop that goes down, basically. This right here, this line here is the row title on the left, I guess you can say. And this loop prints numbers going across. And this right here, just press enter and move to the next line. Like that. That's what this line's for. So you kind of get hopefully a understanding how that works. If I change this to 5, well, you would see this is a 5 by 5 now. It's significantly smaller. If I change it to, I don't know, 10, I don't want to get too nasty with it, but you see it goes 10 by 10, which is 100. And if I did get stupid and typed in 100, well, there you go. It goes across quite a ways, actually. But this would be it. I scroll up and you see it goes all the way from 1 down to 100. And yes, it goes across and across and across until it gets to 10,000. And if you go too big, it won't print everything out because it only allows so much to actually be output on the screen before it freaks out. But you can adjust this and see how it changes. Like so. And you could do this not just with the multiplication, you could use addition. You know, this plus that equals this. If you were just trying to make something for like a kid or something who was practicing, it wouldn't be that hard to do this. Even with math problems and things like that, you could randomly generate the numbers and the answers and have them practice with it. That would be particularly easy, hopefully for most people right now. So this is nested loops. We have one loop at the start, and then we have another set of loops, and these are completely separate from that one. One for loop inside of another. And again, this control's going down. Doot, 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 doot. This control's going across. So this loop will loop, in this case, 9 times, every time this one loops once. So on the first row, that's when this is 1. It loops the second loop 9 times, then quits, comes back up. This loop here is going to loop for number 2. It's going to come here and loop this 9 times. And then it'll come up and this will be 3. It'll loop this loop 9 times all the way to the end of whatever number I ask for. All right, hopefully everybody understood that. If you have any questions or problems, feel free to leave comments or ask me directly.